Blessings, everyone. Today, I have been drawn to do an oracle reading from the Keepers of the Light, and this is an oracle deck by Kyle Gray. And I have a very fond energy connection with his oracle decks because he works a lot with the angels and the ascended masters. And so in this deck, this is what I'm going to be working with today, is the angels and the ascended masters. So I'd like to ask the angels and the masters and the beings of light to please gather near and help bring through a message for the highest good. I'm grateful. Okay, I'm just gonna quick give a shuffle. I don't have my table again. I'm just kind of working with what I got right now. Okay. So, whoop. I'm gonna get that one because it flew right out of the deck. Okay. And this is Horus. Cosmic Gateway. Your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring. And so one of the first things that are coming through with this is, I know a lot of people have been sharing photos and such on social media with the eyes in the sky. And so I understand that that's a very ancient symbol and it can be taken in many ways, but the eyes that I see in the sky, and I'm sure that many of us see, are of ancient wisdom. And so whenever we happen to see the eye of Horus, we know that Horus has come to work with us and bring us some very ancient information. And so I'm just going to quick read some from the book. You are connected to the universe and have the ability to manifest miraculous experiences. Your thoughts, words, and actions are like magnets. It's drawing the energy that creates and cultivates your world. You have a stellar gateway chakra above your head, a vortex of energy that is influenced by your own energy. You can place ideas into this vortex to create what you're seeking. The universe also offers you guidance, abundance, support, and healing based on your capacity to connect to it and accept. You have a real opportunity to further that connection now by sending prayers and intentions out to the cosmos. And so this is something that I spoke about before in another video, and they're kind of reminding me of this, is that there is the chakras that are far, far above our head. And a lot of times when we're being very creative, if we're listening to music or we're about to create a piece of art, a lot of times when we call on these energies, you can feel them spinning way, way high above the head. And it's very vast. And these are, excuse me, chakras that we don't normally speak about or incorporate in the regular type of healing. When we do energetic healing or we're running our energy, there are a lot of energetic healers that work on another level, and they incorporate the different chakras that are above the body and outside in different spaces. So what they're bringing through is that there's also the balance and the all-seeing. So there's a bit of a feeling of karma and justice that comes through listening to what they're coming through with. They're speaking about that sometimes we like to manipulate certain things and bring these things into our own hands by saying an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. We all know that saying. I'm hearing them saying this to me. And I think what the guides are trying to say is that we have to trust that the universe, the all-seeing eye, the eye of Horus, sees what is going on. And sometimes when things occur in our life that feel like that it wasn't just, or it wasn't fair, or we find ourselves saying sometimes, when it is something good going to happen for me? I'm doing everything right. I'm grateful. I'm in a good space. I'm sending love. All the things that we feel positive about, and yet we still feel like, when is it going to be my time? And we have to trust. I know this card is in a little bit different direction with what it says, but I'm listening right now to what the guides are saying, and they want me to speak about this, that we have to trust that the universe sees. It knows. They know, our guides, our angels, our loved ones on the other side, Source, Divine Mother, the unseen worlds. They all know what is going on, what we're doing energetically, what we're moving towards. And so that all-seeing eye, that all-knowing, will bring in for us at the right time what is meant for us. We have to trust. And sometimes the whole journey is about that. And I know there's a lot of things that are happening in our world that doesn't seem just. From children starving and dying, war-torn countries, there's chemicals being spilled and people are being very sick from this, and there's people that are losing their business left and right because they can't pay their bills because of all the COVID situations. It's just there's so much that's unjust in our eyes. But we have to remember that the universe sees everything. And although this is very hard to hear, and I know it, sometimes it can raise a lot of emotions in people when they hear this, but we have to know that we don't know what the journey is. We don't know what the lessons are. We're seeing from a very limited perspective. We have to remember, we have to look through the all-seeing eye, see the bigger perspective. We could see the circle around Horus's head. This is the gateway. This is what is beyond the physical. And the universe is seeing this in a balanced way. And sometimes some of these souls that come in and they go through something that seems so unjust, like a child in a war-torn country that's been murdered. And we say, what is just about that? What is good? There is nothing. But that child on another level has come in to volunteer to go through this experience, not just for its own soul's benefit, that we cannot understand here in our concept. We need the more expanded eye to understand that. But also for those of us that are not understanding, to open our hearts to look at the child that's in this situation and know that there's an innocence lost, a life lost. It was not just. And because of that here, it's teaching us something. And what we do with it as a whole is up to us. But the universe doesn't make mistakes. The universe understands the clarity of it. And we don't know if you're someone who also believes that we've had many lives. I know some people that are in a spiritual sort of journey. They don't necessarily believe in past lives. But I'm from my perspective and what the guides are showing me, the many lives, sometimes we don't know what the karmic balance is in a whole, that maybe a soul like that child has come to balance out. So I tend to try to see it as that the child was very, very special and almost angelic in a way, that came here to teach us something. And although it's horrible to see and it doesn't seem just, it's selfless in that child's part for us to learn something. And so the Eye of Horus is reminding us that we cannot always see the big picture. And sometimes the only thing we can do is trust that the universe is seeing the justice and the balance. So this was kind of a heavy reading today, and I might have touched on some things that not everybody's going to agree upon, and I respect that. We all have a different journey and a different understanding of what's happening here, and there's no right and wrong. This is all just experience. So Horus is asking us today to move into that, know that the universe is watching, and with that there's some beautiful experiences being coming into fruition for us, coming into our awareness, as long as we trust that everything is as it should be, and it's all seen, it's all heard, all the prayers, all the goodness that we do here, all the manifestations we're waiting to occur, to come into the actuality. It's happening. We just have to trust that the universe has got a bigger plan. So I hope you find a little something from this today. And I'm sending all my love and gratitude that you watched the video. Thank you so much.